Okay, so here we are with the track removal. We've removed the idler wheel. As you can see here, I got the bar holding the track up. We got everything jacked up. We got the wheels clamped up. I don't know about my hokey C-clamps, but we're going to see what happens. We got the chain on here holding up the volute springs, so we don't have to worry about them falling off. This we're going to leave intact for now because there's nuts behind those. There's nuts behind these bolts right here. There's nuts behind those, so they're very hard to get off. So we're going to see if we can get the track off without that. In the back, we've removed the bolts on this thing. We're about to pop this whole flange off and see what we got next. All right, I'll be back. Okay, we got the outer flange off on this back wheel. Now we're going to try to drop the track down and see what we get after that. All right, now we're out that far. We should be able to drop it down on the ground, at which point it should clear these bogey wheels. We'll slide the back out and roll the front off. We left this bar in right here, so we don't go tearing off the exhaust. We'll see how that works out. Now when you get to this point and you start sliding that off of there, you want to slide that off the back and then slide it out from beneath the wheels. So we should be able to slide the back off here and slide the wheels out. You really don't get an appreciation for how heavy this thing is until you're trying to pick it up. Alright, the track is down now. We'll clear the back wheel. We're laying on the ground. We've rolled it out from beneath the bogies. All we got to do now is we're going to work it off of this wheel here in the front and get it to lay on the ground. You can see our exhaust pipe is still intact with our bar in there. Bar's not doing anything. We'll need that later. We lost one C-clamp. We don't really need the C-clamps anymore, so I'm going to pull them off and let those things float. And we'll concentrate on getting it off this front sprocket. Alright, that was actually pretty easy. Track is now off and on the ground. The wheel's free. The bogies are all hanging there. Tune in next week for putting it back on. That'll be more than a one-man job. Alright, I should be able to figure this out without doing this, but I'm going to mark it anyway. I'm going to mark forward. I'm marking an arrow pointing forward on the bottom. I mean, obviously it goes forward the way these track clips go, but that way I'll know which one's the outside, so I don't get it on there backwards or anything stupid like that. Bye. Okay, here's the purpose for this exercise, these wheel bearings. You can't really see.
Yeah, you know, Rob Zombie said something about you. It's like the Ramones never stopped coming.
Those bearings are shot. They're moving all over the place. Alright, these bolts are coming off a whole lot easier than I thought they would. This one right here is a middle bogey bolt. It doesn't have any washers, it's just a nut. This one right here has got two washers on it. There's two shims on this lock nut right here. Just so when I put them together, don't forget those two. Okay, we got the nuts off. We got this one, we got the inside one, and we got this one. Now what we need to do is we need to pry this piece right here. That needs to come out. That'll bring this whole bar out off of here, enable this bogey to drop down and come out, and we should be there. We'll see. Okay, the trick to getting this piece off here, the suspension arm, is to jack it up. You got to jack it up, get the weight off it. That limbers it up enough that you can slide it out. Just like the book says, you block the wheels up, take it apart. And we don't have blocks, we're just going to jack it up, pull that thing apart. Okay, that's off now. The pictures aren't shown in the book of what this looks like, but this is what it looks like that goes in there. That fits right in. You have a flat surface right here on this thing. When you put that back together, that's got to line up with this flat surface right here. If you don't get the twisted right, it's not going to line up. Ergo, the cheap little jack. Do that. We're going to take these out now and be done. Alright, you'll notice that's a tapered shaft that holds that bolt, which holds this assembly into that hole right there. What you want to do, if you're thinking ahead, is you'll do the inside one first, then the outside one will be held. Then you don't have to lay underneath the machine, try to hold this center bar here with a pipe wrench that you have that's crappy. You can work the outside one and hold that and work the outside. If you take the in one off first, you'll be better. So we'll learn from that when we put it back together. So here's that whole assembly out and ready for rejuvenation. Next thing we're going to wind up doing is taking these nuts off here and here. That'll pull this bar off. That'll get us into our wheel bearings and stuff.